Chapter 11.5 Lin Shue's Hunting Trip, Part 5. Bang bang bang. On the outside of the entrance, Song Yu was bored after waiting for several hours. So, she started to practice shooting fruits by keeping them on the head of a four-circle knight. Due to his higher level, he wasn't worried about getting injured by a no-grade weapon. Despite not showing any interest on the surface, the five-circle royal knight captain who was guarding the entrance was also watching it from the corner of his eyes. He was curious about the strange-looking ranged weapon that was firing a tiny metal thing. What he was surprised is the speed the bullet was going. He felt like even a five-circle warrior like him couldn't evade it if he stays in 10 meters range. Right then, he heard noises from the underground passage. As he turned his head, he found the prince and the others returning. "Welcome back, Your Highness." He greeted him with a bow and then sighed in relief. Even though he was confident that nothing can happen to the prince because of the hooded ally, he was still happy that Shang Wei returned without being harmed. If anything happens to the prince, he was sure that the emperor will not hesitate to take off his head. "Captain Jiao, you stay here to guard this place until General Liu returns with the army. Meanwhile, seal up the entrance and destroy these pillars. It shouldn't look any suspicious. And don't spare anyone that dares to enter the passage. Understand?" While the prince was busy passing the instructions, Hu Jing's hand turned to blazing red and the rope suddenly started to burn. Quickly, the rope turned to ash and Hu Jing became free, sending everyone into alert. "Ah!" Hu Jing pressed his blazing hands on the two soldiers that are accompanying him from the moment he was captured and pressed on their arms where there are no protective braces. "Zhou Meng." As the prince spoke his name, the five-circle realm warrior dashed towards the traitor who started to run after becoming free. However, Hu Jing never intended to escape as he knows very well that he couldn't escape from Zhou Meng's pursuit. He rushed towards Song Yu and grabbed her. Zhou Meng had no choice but to stop in midway. "Song Yu, Lady Song Yu." Everyone screamed her name with a panic. Even Lin Shui was the same as she knew that Song Yu was too weak to escape from the traitor's clutches. One of his hands once again started to become blazing hot as he put it near her neck. "Don't come closer if you value her life." "How dare you!" Zhong Kong shouted in fury. "Leave your filthy hands off my woman. I gave you the opportunity to live, but I guess you really wanted to die, don't you, Hu Jing?" The prince's face turned colder. Song Yu was a precious person to him, someone he was friends with from his childhood. For him, she was like a sister. Taking her a hostage crossed his bottom line. "You can't fool me by telling that you'll spare my life. If I return to the palace, the only thing that will wait for me is that dark prison. I would rather risk my death than going to that place." Grabbing her, Hu Jing continued to back off a bit by bit. "Anyone dares to try anything funny, I'll take her life. Don't come forward. Stay away." Meanwhile, Lin Shui gripped the sheath of her sword but didn't take it out as she doesn't want to risk her best friend's life. She was only hoping that her hidden guard would make a move and rescue Song Yu. However, a whole minute passed, but nothing happened except for Hu Jing slowly backing away 2 steps while they were going forward 1 step. As Song Yu knew that she couldn't get away by struggling, she too didn't resist and stayed still with her eyes fixed on her free left hand that had a pistol in it with a bullet loaded. At the same time, she also knew that she had just one chance to escape. Song Yu decided to wait for a perfect time. Hu Jing was slowly increasing the distance from the prince and others. All this while his hands were occupied with one was grabbing her right hand and the other was at her neck. His attention was completely on the prince and the others. Song Yu realized that too. After they reached the entrance of this abandoned village, Hu Jing realized that it was the perfect time to escape. Just as his arm loosened, all of a sudden, Song Yu spun around once and her left arm appeared in his view. His pupils constricted seeing a strange metal thing in her hand that was only a couple of centimeters away from his eye. Song Yu pressed the trigger. Bang! Ah! Hu Jing screamed loudly in pain as his left eye started to bleed heavily. Song Yu was released from his grip and fell onto the ground. She hurriedly stood up on her feet and started to run towards her friends. As soon as they saw she was freed, Zhou Meng and the others dashed towards her in case he captures her again. However, contrary to their thoughts, Hu Jing, who was gravely injured in the eye, started to run for his life. Seeing Song Yu safe, the prince ordered Zhou Meng to chase the culprit and capture him. Thank goodness, you are all right. Zhong Kong tightly hugged her as she reunited with her fiancé. That was some hit, Sister Yu. The prince also sighed in relief to see her okay and praised her for injuring the enemy. After all, she was only in a one-circle realm. It is indeed a brave act to even try to attempt such a feat, much less getting succeeded in it. Smiling brightly, she raised the pistol. I should actually thank my god's sacrifice. If I didn't know that the bullet can injure one's eyes, I wouldn't have dared to try shooting at him. Bullet? The prince went into a daze as he stared at the pistol. With Zhong Kong partially blocking his view, he didn't see how she did it. All he heard was a loud sound. So, he assumed it must be some kind of explosive made out of black powder. As the eye is a vulnerable spot even for higher realm warriors, he thought she's really lucky to hit. Now that he realized the weapon, its unique shape caught his eye. He became curious about it. More than him, Lin Shui was the one who was most curious about the weapon. She pointed out, "What a strange name. Its name is just as strange as its appearance." Bullet? No. Song Yu waved her hand. This is called pistol. The thing I fired from this is called a bullet. Chapter 12, Bargain. Genesis Weapon Store, Imperial City. Sigh. 1 whole week has passed and only 2 sales except for bullets. At this rate, it might even take a year to complete the main quest. Mark rests his chin on the table with a disappointed look. He glanced at the quests. Main quest, sell 100 single-shot pistols, in progress 5%. Reward, single-shot firearms unlock. Side quest, 1 earn 100 gold coins from selling the weapons, in progress 64%. Reward, system store. Side quest, 2 sell 10 single-shot pistols, in progress 50%. Reward, revolver. Well, at least, due to that rich girl's purchase of bullets, I'm near to completing the first side quest. Letting out another sigh, Mark continued to watch the entrance in the hopes of getting a wealthy customer. Man, designing a nuclear warhead is a lot easier than selling these weapons here. My goal of taking the revenge is going further away as days passed. Sigh. At such a moment, a short and fat middle-aged fellow in decent clothes entered the shop. Big brother, a customer. As usual, the android was quick to report to his master. Looking at the long-bearded bald man who was wearing clothes made of cotton, Mark lost his interest. He knew what was going to happen next. Alan, take care of the customer, Mark spoke in a lazy tone as he turned his head, resting his cheek on the counter. 2 weeks ago, when he first opened the store, Mark displayed enthusiasm, at least on the outside, to every customer. However, after being called a scammer by so many customers, he eventually lost interest and let the android do the greetings. In the past 3 days, except for Song Yu, he rarely displayed his bright smile in front of customers. The fatty frowned as he saw Mark's behavior. Welcome to Genesis Weapon Store. May I know what you are looking for? Alan, the android received the customer in his usual emotionless tone. Oh, yes. My friend introduced me to the store. I came for those pistols. That's what they are called, right? He said to the android. Mark's ears perked up upon hearing his words. He turned his head and looked at him curiously. He wondered which friend. Is it Song Yu? Mark threw the thought away as he felt it is unlikely for such a person to be friends with such a beauty who was from a rich household. So, he wondered whether it is those 2 beginner adventurers from 3 days ago. My name is Hua Fen. I'm a merchant from the Western Yang. Mark immediately sat up as soon as he heard that the customer is a merchant. He listened to the fatty middle-aged man's story carefully. Through a caravan, I set out towards this city to sell my goods and make a profit. But, who could have expected that we would face bandits on the outskirts of the city? By luck, a couple of teenagers, who were passing by the area, saved us from harm. In the past 20 years, I have roamed every city located in this giant empire, but I have yet to find such a unique ranged weapon. Walking towards the shelves where the pistols are displayed, he looked at them in admiration. These weapons are unlike anything I have ever seen in my life. He then turned his head towards Mark, who sat straight unlike before. I heard that they cost 5 gold coins. I wonder if I can get any discount if I purchase in bulk. I won't ask for much. Can you give me 12 pistols for 50 gold coins? Discount? Mark was taken aback by the customer's bargain. He doesn't know what to do as he never faced this kind of situation. Ding! System doesn't allow bargains. If the host accepts the deal, it will be considered as a gift and the host will not receive his 10% share. A part of him felt like it is unfair for him to pay from his own pocket for a stranger. At the same time, another part of him was excited to sell them in bulk to finish his mission and activate the revolver and system store. As Mark fell into deep thoughts, the customer waited for his decision. After thinking for a long time, once again, a bright smile appeared on Mark as he said, "Mr. Hua, I can accept the deal if you purchase the bullets in bulk." Bullets? It was Hua Fen's turn to be taken aback by surprise. Just like a bow needs an arrow, you need a bullet for the pistol to shoot the target. The bullets fired from this pistol will be able to kill mortals or one-circle spirit warriors and even injure heavily even those of two-circle realm as long as they don't belong to the path of a fighter. Mark repeated the explanation of the same thing he gives to every customer. Mark further said while showing the 9mm lead bullet, each of these costs 20 silver coins, and they can only be used for once. However, unlike other customers, Hua Fen's eyes only lit up in excitement. If this guy from the poor neighborhood has a monopoly on this weapon, does that mean the bullets can only be bought from this shop? That means I will have a monopoly in other kingdoms if I play my cards right. Give me 20 bullets per pistol. Since I'm buying in bulk, I hope I would get a discount on this too. 240 bullets and 12 pistols for 90 gold coins. Deal? Hua Fen tried to bargain once again. 40 bullets and 2 pistols. That means 18 gold coins of loss. Mark felt like losing such an amount isn't bad when compared to the benefits of completing the mission. Mark nodded with a smile, "Deal. Alan, bring 12 of those single-shot pistols here." After ordering the android, he took out 2 boxes filled with 100 bullets each and then filled the rest of the 40 in another empty box. Ding! The single-shot pistol has been sold. 4 gold and 50 silver coins have been deducted. Ding! The single-shot pistol has been sold. 4 gold and 50 silver coins have been deducted. Ding! The single-shot pistol has been sold. 4 gold and 50 silver coins have been deducted. Ding! 200 bullets have been sold. Ding! The single-shot pistol has been given as a gift. 5 gold coins have been deducted. Ding! The single-shot pistol has been given as a gift. 5 gold coins have been deducted. Ding! 40 bullets have been given as a gift. 8 gold coins have been deducted. Ding! Side quest 1 has been completed. Ding! Side quest 2 has been completed. While Alan was helping out the customer in placing them in the cart, Mark was grinning from ear to ear as he opened the quest panel. Main quest, sell 100 single-shot pistols, in progress 15%. Reward, single-shot firearms unlock. Side quest, 1 earn 100 gold coins from selling the weapons, completed. Reward, system store, click to receive the reward. Side quest, 2 sell 10 single-shot pistols, completed. Reward, revolver, click to receive the reward. Chapter 13, Ring of Luck. Ding! You unlocked the system store. Ding! You received a new side quest. Check out the quest panel for details. Ding! You unlocked revolver. Check out the gallery for details. Ding! You received a new side quest. Check out the quest panel for details. Ding! You received a new side quest. Check out the quest panel for details. Mark quickly opened the store to see what it holds. Ding! Please select a category: skills, items, attributes, bloodlines, and unique weapons. Of the options presented before him, only items were highlighted. The rest of them are grayed out. Mark understood that they are locked just like hundreds of weapons in the creation panel. System, how do I unlock the rest of the categories? He was actually surprised that even things like bloodlines and attributes can be bought. Ding! Please upgrade the system store to unlock the remaining categories. And how do I upgrade the system store? Mark's eyes were fixed on the last category as he was very curious about what kind of weapons will be there in the unique weapons category. He was looking forward to upgrading it as soon as possible. However, System's reply darkened his expression immediately. Ding! Upgrade stone can upgrade the store to the next level. Upgrade stones can only be obtained through either emergency quests or side quests. It depends on the host's luck. He rested his forehead on the table and looked down at the floor in depression. Luck, my foot. Anyway, let's see if I can buy anything. Raising his head once again, he clicked on the only available option. The categories disappeared and were replaced by a long list of items in a grid. There are images accompanied by their respective prices and names. The first section is full of various pills. Most of them affect for a limited time, like increasing the recovery rate of ether energy, the success rate of creation, healing the injuries, etc. Other pills give a permanent boost, like improving agility, strength, skill power, longevity, etc. Mark looked at the prices and shook his head with a sigh. Even a basic pill costs 100 credits. He scrolls down further to see the next section, which contains the accessories, which gives a permanent boost in things like strength, agility, ether recovery rate, and so on. It's just that the boost only works when the host aka Mark is wearing them. They are also quite cheaper when compared to the pills. Since he doesn't need to boost his strength and such, he thought of bypassing them too. However, as he scrolls down, his eyes captured a ring. As he saw its price was 500 credits, Mark immediately clicked on it. Ring of Luck. Grade, Copper, upgradable. Description: with the Ring of Luck, the host can steal the luck of others for a limited time and increase the chances of getting lucky in any kind of situation. Effects: 1 permanent luck +1. Effects: 2 can steal up to +2 temporary lucky points for 5 minutes. Cooldown: 3 hours per 1 lucky point. Price: 500 credits. Mark bought it without considering any second thoughts. Luck is what he needed to either get customers or the upgrade stones. Right now, it was the most important for him. To acquire the luck, Mark was even willing to go outside to roam and steal it from passers-by. It would also be helpful when he will fall in danger. He can steal the luck of his enemy to save himself. As soon as he bought the item, he received a series of surprising notifications from the system. Ding! You bought the Ring of Luck. 500 credits have been deducted. Ding! Ring of Luck has been sent to the inventory. Ding! You completed the side quest. 1. Click on the quest to receive the reward. Ding! You completed the side quest. 3. Click on the quest to receive the reward. Ding! You received a new side quest. Check out the quest panel for details. Ding! Luck stat has been added to the character panel. Has my lucky season already started or something? Mark grinned from ear to ear as he closed down the notification screen and the store, as he only had a little more than. He then opened the inventory to take out a copper ring that looked like nothing special. He had quickly worn it on his left index finger and spoke. System, open character menu. Name, Lu Zhen, Mark Spencer. Strength, 0.3. Intelligence, 0.7. Defense, 0.2. Agility, 0.1. Vitality, 0.8. Resistance, 0.1. Charisma, 6.8. Luck, 2, +1. Bloodline, not applicable. Attribute, not applicable. Spirit path, not applicable. Ether quality, nil. Ether energy, 0. Rank, not applicable. Skills, not applicable. Lifespan limit, 80, 55 years left. Available credits, 187. Net worth, 436 gold coins, 46 silver coins. Mark's facial expression changed quickly. Only 2 points of luck? No wonder I was kidnapped by a mafia gang. No wonder I was killed by my own trusted comrades. No wonder my soul was transmigrated into a place where all these supernatural beings exist. No wonder I possess trash of a prince, who was born with no ether particles and got even switched with a commoner by his own biological mother. No wonder my business isn't going well. The more he thought about it, the more he fell into depression. Letting out a deep sigh, he put those depressing thoughts away and focused on his current situation. After all, it is time to celebrate his bright future, not to lament his tragic past. Looking at the copper ring, Mark mumbled, I can steal 2 points of luck. That means my overall luck will be 5. I hope, with this, the situation will become a lot better in the future. Anyway, let's see what the new quests are. Quest list. Main quest, sell 100 single-shot pistols, in progress 15%. Reward, single-shot firearms unlock. Side quest, 1 purchase an item from the store, completed. Reward, 50 credits, click to receive the reward. Side quest, 2 sell 10 revolvers, in progress 0%. Reward, semi-automatic pistol, 10-round magazine. Side quest, 3 spend a total of 500 credits, completed. Reward, lottery wheel, click to receive the reward. 50 credits? That's the same price if I dismantle a top silver-graded weapon. Not bad. And this lottery will seem like it's also a good thing. Let's check it out and see the prizes and participate in it after absorbing some luck from others. But, before that, I need to see the new quests. As he received both the rewards, 2 new quests also replaced the completed ones. His eyes lit up in excitement as he saw the reward. Side quest, 1 earn a total of 1,000 gold coins from selling the weapons created by the system excluding the bullets, in progress 7.5%. Reward, ether particles. Side quest, 3 spend a total of 5,000 credits, in progress 10%. Reward, exchange panel, currency to credits and vice versa. Mark clenched his fist tightly to control his happiness. It looks like 1 additional point of luck is working. As long as I sell the weapons, I can transform into spirit warrior and cultivate like these people with supernatural powers. Chapter 14, Mark at Everlasting Store. In the bustling streets of the Imperial City, 2 handsome men were walking together. One had a bright smile on his face and the other had this cold look on his face. Together, they appeared like a sun and a moon for the young female pedestrians. The only difference is that the moon is shining brighter than the sun as Alan has a perfect chiseled body while Mark appeared to be on the leaner side. And right now, both of them are going their way to one of the most popular weapon stores within the city, the Everlasting Store. It was one of the big 3 weapon stores that had the backing of Swordmasters Guild, the second largest guild in the continent with over 8,000 members. After the store striking a deal with Iron Vanguardians, the greatest blacksmith guild in the continent that was operated by dwarfs, in the past 20 years, there was never a day it ran out of weapons, at least in the main branch of the Imperial City, no matter how many sales it has. And Mark wasn't going to the store to buy something. He was actually going there to look for rich people who are blessed with money or strong people who are blessed with strength or talent. It's so that he could steal luck from them. Mark thought of this method as he assumed people like them might have a huge amount of luck since they are blessed by the heavens with either money or talent. Even if he stole the luck from them temporarily, Mark was confident that they would at least not die because of him. And if they die, then that's their fate. With such a thought in mind, Mark walked into the store. As Mark and Alan entered the store, they found the ground floor was lively with customers. Mark felt a little bit of envy as he watched the scene. Phew! Taking a deep breath, he consoled himself. Don't worry, Mark, there will be a day when your store will be like them. Mark looked around and inspected the weapons. After seeing that 3 of them are ungraded, Mark assumed that all of the displayed models are ungraded weapons. He lost interest in them. After all, compared to his weapons, they were considered trash even though they were of high quality. The maximum ungraded weapon in the store only costs 2 gold coins and the minimum price in his store is 5 gold coins. So, one can imagine the difference between their level. Mark then changed his focus towards the southwest corner and then, the northwest corner where there are stairs. From the southwest, people are climbing up the stairs, and from the northwest, people are climbing down. Mark wondered out whether the graded weapons are upstairs. Upon hearing his words, Alan patted his shoulder. Big brother, look over there. Mark looked in the direction Alan pointed his finger. There was a large board at the entrance which he ignored while entering the store. It has brief details of weapons, their price, and also a set of rules. He stepped outside and read them. Ground floor, ungraded weapons, 4 silver coins, 2 gold coins. First floor, copper graded weapons, 4 gold coins, 20 gold coins. Second floor, silver graded weapons, 40 gold coins, 200 gold coins. Third floor, gold graded weapons, 400 gold coins, 2,000 gold coins. Fourth floor, gold grade custom made weapons, 3,000 gold coins. Fifth floor, VIP, only nobles. 6th floor, restricted, only staff. Rules. 1. Buying weapons are limited to 10 per customer, each day. 2. Buying more than 10 are only allowed to guilds. A letter from the respective guild master is needed. 3. Buying 5 or more weapons in the same grade will provide a 10% discount. 4. Damaged graded weapons are subjected to a discount from 10 to 50% based on their condition. 5. Making a ruckus in the store is prohibited. 6. Disrespecting a staff member is prohibited. 7. Installments are allowed with a guarantor belonging to be the direct member of a noble family or upper echelon of a well-known guild. The store decides whether the guarantor is eligible or not. 8. Stealing is prohibited. 9. A reminder to the customers. Please don't go to the floors above your budget and cause an inconvenience to our staff. 10. The store reserves the right to punish, blacklist, or forgive the customer based on the situation. Whistle. Mark couldn't help but let out a whistle as he read the rules. He was impressed with how they conduct the business, well, at least on the paper. Those were some nice solid rules. He decided that he will also do the same once he returns. Now that he read everything, Mark proceeded to the stairs. Alan followed him. It was rather a narrow staircase with only 3 adults with average bodies barely could fit if they go side by side. With the influx of people, it took 2 minutes just to go to the first floor where several commoners entered the floor. Mark didn't stop there. He climbed up the stairs until he reached the 3rd floor, where gold-grade weapons are sold. As he entered the space, Mark saw there were roughly 8 customers, in which there's a couple in luxurious clothes who appeared to be rich just like Songyu, 3 individual customers who were looking at the weapons, finally, a team of 3 people wearing similar equipment over their bodies. Wearing such equipment in public states either they are knights or adventurers. Mark thought it might be the latter. He came to this opinion solely based on the appearance of their hands that have scars. His suspicion became right when the middle guy, who looked tall and buffed, patted the shoulder of the one on the right and then, on the left one, Dao Shuren, Qiu Yang, don't hesitate about the cost. Your captain isn't that poor. Both of your contributions are great in killing the 6 circle Linux deserved at least 2 pieces of gold-grade equipment. Pick any 2 weapons of your liking. 6 circle, heh. Mark clenched his fist to calm himself. One day, I will also become stronger. Welcome to everlasting. Spotting Mark and Alan at the entrance, a staff member greeted both of them as he was the only one that was free. Mark nodded in response while Alan stayed silent. He walked towards the staff member that greeted him and said, I'm looking for a suitable weapon for my brother. Mark pointed to Alan who stood behind him. Sure. The staff member maintained his smile and asked Alan, may I know what kind of weapon you are looking for? Mark gave the response instead of Alan, he only used fists until now. So, we aren't sure. But, our budget is 1,000 gold coins. So, don't show weapons that are above the price. Chapter 15. Stealing the luck. Usually, people who come to the store first look at the weapons. Then, they ask for the price. If they liked it, then, they will buy it. If the price is above their budget, then, they will look at another weapon. However, saying the budget before looking at the weapons was something that was rarely heard within the store unless either they want to show off that they are very rich or they were just misers. But, most of the time, it just indicates that they have a limited budget. After all, no one would want to be looked down on because of their social status, at least, not in crowded places like this. As usual, the rich couple and the buffed adventurer thought Mark and Alan were too poor while one of the other customers felt a little bit embarrassed as his budget was only around 500 gold coins. The staff members wondered whether it is because he was buying for someone else. The only one in the store that felt different is the floor supervisor, who was sitting at the bill counter. He had an inkling that this customer might be an employee or owner of a store. As far as he had seen, only those types of people will have a certain budget in their mind and then go for the most practical use rather than the one that looks majestic and flashy. Just like others, while the staff member was also taken aback, he still nodded in understanding and pointed to the wall. These are all the display models we have in our store. Follow me. The staff member then led them to one of the displayed weapons. It was a saber. Mark quickly inspected it. Warp steel saber. Grade, gold. Description: a saber that was forged by Master Blacksmith Lu Zhen. It was made of Fry-10 steel. During the forge, 100 ml of War Bee's blood was used as a catalyst to bring the properties of space attribute. Like other gold-grade weapons, this saber has the capacity to hold the ether energy of up to a 6-circle realm. Note, those who were born with space attribute could use the warping technique to twist the space between them to some extent and block the attacks. As the staff member took the saber out from the sheath and spoke, this saber costs 800 gold coins. Its name is... No, this saber doesn't suit my brother. Show something else. The staff member was interrupted by Mark as he doesn't want to waste the time at this place. He actually wanted to steal the luck of the rich-looking couple on the other side. However, in order to not to look suspicious, he could only go near them naturally. After all, the system mentioned that the distance between them shouldn't be more than 3 meters. Who could have expected that someone offends him right then? Just then, he heard a mocking tone from behind. Look at those two poor fellows backing away as soon as they heard the price. What's the point of looks when you are dead poor? That is why, you two must continue to work hard or else, someday, you will also hesitate to buy because of its high costs like these two paupers. As his voice was loud enough, naturally, everyone in the store heard it but no one spoke anything as he hadn't broken any rules. Disrespecting a fellow customer isn't prohibited according to the rules and he didn't make any ruckus either. Mark turned his head to look at the source of the mocking tone. It was the same buffed guy who was showing off his gold-grade equipment that he wore from top to bottom. Alan also turned around but since he had no emotions and his master didn't give any order, he stayed silent. Mark narrowed his eyes as he stared at the adventurer with his hands behind the back. The latter also participated in the staring contest for a couple of seconds before he opened his mouth. What are you looking at? The staff member who was standing behind Mark saw the copper ring on the latter's left index finger is glowing. Meanwhile, a holographic screen appeared before Mark. Ding! Target locked. Target has 4 luck points. Proceed to absorb? Mark spoke inside his head, yes? Ding! You should speak out to confirm. Mark mumbled, yes? Ding! Choose how many luck points you need to steal. Warning, every luck point needed 30 seconds to absorb completely. The target needs to stay within the range. Mark mumbled again. Ding! 2 points of luck are going to be transferred from the target to the host. Please stay within the 3-meter range from the target for the next 60 seconds. While Mark just continued to stare at him in silence, the adventurer spoke. What did he just mumble, right now? He thought Mark was probably swearing at him. The adventurer then looked at the staff member behind Mark and asked him in a serious tone, you tell me. What did he just mumble, right now? Before the staff member replied, Mark opened his mouth. This rich adventurer, do you know what the most powerful thing in the world? Him. The adventurer frowned. Mark didn't wait for his answer and said with a smile on his face, it's not strength or money. It's not even authority. It's luck. You can live happily even if you run out of money and become a beggar one day. But, if you lose luck at the perfect time, mister, then, only a god can help you in crisis. I hope you won't run out of luck today. What are you implying? The adventurer got enraged upon hearing Mark. In his view, the poor guy is trying to curse him to run out of luck and get into trouble. This time, his voice was too loud that the supervisor couldn't ignore it anymore. He spoke, Brother Mo, please tone down your voice. You are obstructing our business. The adventurer Captain Mo Jiang quickly took out a heavy sword that was hanging at his back. Pointing it at Mark, Adventurer Mo said coldly, if you have uttered those words outside the store, you would have paid dearly for running your mouth. As Alan quickly stood before Mark to protect him, the latter patted his shoulder and then replied to the adventurer while maintaining a smile, well, I guess I'll have to leave out of your sight to save my life, right? Sorry for the trouble. I'll come another time. Apologizing to the supervisor with a slight bow, Mark slowly walked towards the exit. However, the countdown hasn't ended yet. He stopped just as he was about to pass the adventurers. Mark halted his steps and turned around. Oh, I forgot about something. That steel saber in your hands. Pointing the saber, Mark said to the staff member, Warp Bee's blood is used as a catalyst while forging it. So, it was useful to those of space attribute, not my brother. That's why it is useless. The staff member was taken aback. How do you know that Warp Bee's blood is used while forging this weapon? As the room was a bit silent because of the earlier commotion, the other staff members and customers turned their heads towards Mark. Chapter 16, Lottery Wheel. On the third floor of the famous Everlasting Weapon Store, silence filled the room for a moment as the staff member asked Mark about how he discerned the catalyst. After all, it is known that unless you pour ether energy into man-made equipment, you couldn't even know whether it is graded or ungraded, much less what kind of hidden material was used while forging. Shrugging his shoulders, Mark replied, "Let's just say my eyes are good." His words implied as if the matter is very simple to him. "Who are you kidding? You surely must have visited the store before." Adventurer Mo, who doesn't seem to like Mark, scoffed in response. "Eye is good, my foot. Only 9 circle spirit warriors or humans born with innate eye ability could find out such a thing." As everyone also thinking the same, they nodded in silence. Mark glanced at the timer. There was still more than 25 seconds left. While maintaining his bright fake smile, he pointed at the armor the buffed adventurer was wearing. Troll's blood was used as a catalyst in making this your armor as well as greaves. A combination of 70% tungsten and 30% silver is used in both of them. Honestly, they only look hard on the surface but are very brittle. It's not a good choice for defense if you are an adventurer. Did you get cheated by the seller or something? Nonsense. Mo Jiang gritted his teeth in anger while the supervisor at the bill counter was sweating bullets as he was the one that sold him 6 months ago. At the same time, the others in the room were also surprised to find a person with innate eye ability. Ignoring Mo Jian's expression, Mark continued by pointing his finger at the weapon as he inspected the details. "This one is a good sword. Made from Fry-10 steel just like that saber. Oh! Drake's blood has been used as a catalyst. It seems to have a minute percentage of pure dragon blood. That would mean you will have a 1% chance to invoke a special skill belong to the dragons. I wonder what that might be." Ding! 2 points of luck have been completely absorbed. After the absorbing process is over, the ring also stopped glowing. Anyway, I'm leaving. Don't want to stay in a store where the customers are insulted in such an open manner. As his job was done and the clock is ticking, Mark didn't stay there any longer. Amid the shocking gazes of everyone, Mark hurriedly left the store with Alan. Mo Jiang, who was initially angry that this fellow customer was speaking as he wishes, now got stunned upon listening to his final explanation. The sword was something he received as a gift from a mysterious blacksmith whom he saved in one of his adventures. No one except for that mysterious blacksmith and him knows about the catalyst that was used while forging the blade in his hands. Now, he couldn't help but suspect the staff member that sold him this armor. Mo Jiang quickly turned his face and looked at the new supervisor. He asked in a serious tone, "Was that true? Tell me. You said that the tungsten material armors are very strong. He's saying that they are hard but brittle." The supervisor laughed nervously. "Don't believe him. This isn't normal tungsten. It's made of Damascus tungsten combined with silver. They are also quite durable. If you don't believe me, then you should believe in our store's reputation." I guess you are right." Mo Jiang put the sword back to the sheath and mumbled, "I will teach that pauper a lesson sooner or later for trying to make a fool out of me." Meanwhile, outside of the store, Mark was returning towards his store. As the clock is ticking, he didn't waste time in opening the inventory. Of course, it was only visible to him. In one of the inventory slots, there was an image of a classic round lottery board. He proceeded to click on it. Ding! "Do you want to integrate the lottery wheel system into the character?" He clicked on yes. Ding! Lottery wheel has been added to the character. Ding! You received a free chance for the first time. System, open character. There was a tab beside the character that read lottery wheel. He clicked on it. A round lottery wheel appeared on the screen before him. It was divided into 21 slots of which only 7 items were available. The remaining 14 of them are empty. Mark glanced at the items. The first one is a random bloodline. The second one is a mysterious potion. The third one is a stone. The fourth one is a +2 chance. The fifth one is a battle tank. The sixth one is a unique skill. And finally, last but not least, the seventh one is a question mark. Bloodline, battle tank, and +2 chance slot are good but the chance is slim. Let's hope 5 points of luck will help out. Mark clicked on the free chance button that was glowing below the wheel. Bloodline, 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 bloodline. As the wheel rotating, Mark was tensed and was hoping for a bloodline. Once he makes 1,000 gold coins from selling the weapons, he will also become a spirit warrior. So, getting a bloodline is the key to improve his strength. The wheel rotated for 10 seconds before it started to slow down. With 2 blank spaces between the items, Mark couldn't say where it will land. After 5 more seconds, its speed became extremely slow while crossing the bloodline. It dashed away Mark's hopes, but still, he felt like something is better than nothing. So, now, all he was hoping was to win at least one of those items. And as if the luck points worked for him, the lottery gave him a pleasant surprise. Ding! Congratulations, you won Battle Tank V. The free chance was grayed out and a countdown of 6 days 23 hours 59 minutes started. In the meantime, except for the question mark, the other options also disappeared. Yes, a genuine smile appeared on Mark as he closed down the screen. If not for the fact that he was in public, he would even start grinning. System, open gallery. The gallery was opened with almost everything grayed out except for the first 3, which are single-shot pistol, revolver, and a 9mm bullet. Eh? Where is the battle tank? Mark's smile was quickly frozen and replaced by a frown. He started to scroll down, but everything else is grayed out. System, where is my reward? He almost roared in his head. Ding! The host should check out the inventory. He opened the inventory as advised. There, he saw the image of a battle tank. It was an item? Not a blueprint? Mark felt a little bit sad. That image of waging a war with 1,000 military tanks seemed like a dream now. Ding! The host should be satisfied that he got something for free. The system's comment made him feel like an arrow pierced his chest. Fine. Letting out a sigh, he then clicked and then holds his finger on the inventory slot that has the image of a tank. Dismantle details summon. He clicked on the details. An image appeared on a new holographic screen along with the description. His eyes lit up upon reading it. I see, no wonder only one was given. Chapter 17, Song Yu's Addiction. Battle Tank V, bound. Grade, Platinum. Length, 10.4 meters. Width, 3.9 meters. Tunnel roof, 2.9 meters. Weight, 68,325 kilograms. Elevation aiming angle, -10 to 75 degrees. Primary weapon, 120mm smoothbore cannon. Secondary weapons, 12.7mm machine gun, 40mm grenade launcher. Additional attachments, available, depends on host's choices. Maximum speed, 82 km per hour. Cruising range, 430 km, need to be refueled with ether energy. Maximum firing range, 10 km. Autoload, only secondary weapons. Accuracy, 100% up to 4 km, 80% from 4 km to 6 km, 60% from 6 km to 8 km, 40% from 8 km to 10 km. Description: a battle tank that can crush your enemies with its heavy firepower, and also protects you with its strong armor at the same time. It is capable of killing anyone under the 6-circle realm with one shot using the ammunition. The user can shoot in every direction without moving the vehicle. Skills: all-out attack. Bombard the enemies with the energy attacks from all of the available firearms with an attack power of 200% of the user. Cost: 50% of maximum ether energy. Invincible shield. Create a barrier around the battle tank and block all types of attacks for 10 seconds as long as they don't exceed the realm of 6-circle. Cost: 50% of maximum ether energy. Invincibility? That's FKG cool. Mark was indeed fascinated by its stats. Looking at its image on the screen, he couldn't help but remember a certain MBT, main battle tank, that he designed back when he was in the army. At that moment, he swore to himself that one day, when he becomes rich and popular, he would build a large factory to manufacture the weapons that he designed in the past and the ones that are still inside his head. Anyway, right now, I need to focus on the present. Closing down the screen, Mark continued to walk. As usual, Alan silently followed. By the time he returned to the store, his luck points were back to normal. He doesn't know whether they were returned to the original owner. However, according to the system, it takes a whole day for Mo Jiang to recover one of his lost points of luck. So, that was 2 days in total. If it was anyone else, Mark would pray that they don't get in trouble, but for someone like Mo Jiang, who displayed such arrogance in front of him even though they weren't even met before, Mark didn't care about his well-being. Whether he dies or lives, it wasn't his concern. Right now, his time was occupied by the creation of the new reward, the revolvers. With no one in the shop, Mark continued to create them. Ding! You successfully created a revolver. Revolver. Grade, not applicable. Description: a repeating handgun that allows firing a maximum of 6 consecutive rounds. Also known as a 6-shooter, it is capable of inflicting heavy damage on a mortal. Damage decreases as the physical strength of spirit warriors increases. Warning: you need to click trigger once per every round. Range, 25 meters. Price, 20 gold coins. Oh boy, 5 gold coins is already too much for that pistol. Now, I have to sell this for 20 gold coins? And bullets? They would cost a hefty amount. How about I sell a loaded revolver for the same price? For every 20 gold coins, my share is 2 gold coins, and if I give away 6 bullets for free, I could still earn 80 silver coins per sale. That's not a bad deal. Nerwi, Forest of Bloodhill. Nerwi is a region located in Sector 8, the second most outer region of this enormous forest. It was the home to the race of goblins, which have a special habit of not only eating the humans but were also known to store all the things that were left by its prey. So, it was considered a popular hunting spot for adventurers. The only issue here is that they weren't like dumb monsters that just attacked whenever a human is spotted. They are extremely clever and will plant traps, unleash several strategies, and hunt in groups. Like humans, they could also wield graded weapons. So, that would also make them extremely dangerous for those who are below the 3-circle realm. Still, all of them are only in the realm of 2-circle. So, there was no need to worry for this team with a 5-circle knight captain Jiao Meng, hidden 5-circle assassin, 4-circle mage Prince Shang Wei, speedy 3-circle swordmaster Lin Shui, 3-circle swordsman Zhong Kong, a 4-circle realm knight, and finally, a mere 1-circle realm, and yet possess a talent to kill every 2-circle goblin with a single bullet, the self-proclaimed pistol master Song Yu. While the 4 nobles were killing them non-stop, the remaining 2 higher realm soldiers were only focused on protecting them. After all, these heirs of the noble houses were just here only to enjoy hunting. The 2 handmaidens were nowhere to be seen, as Song Yu felt it was dangerous for them if they encounter any soldier like that Hua Jing. Of course, he was accidentally killed by Captain Jiao, but still, there might be rogue adventurers in the forest. Her handmaidens could save themselves from the beasts, but against the humans, she wasn't confident. So, she sent the 2 of them back to the Imperial City along with a 4-circle realm soldier. Bang bang bang. While her fiancé was carrying a box full of bullets like a servant, Song Yu was taking the bullet in the first second, reloading it in the next second, and killing a goblin with a headshot in the third second as soon as her eyes fell on the target. With huge sounds generated by the pistol, several times, goblins got a little bit afraid and run away. And whenever such a scene happens, Song Yu gets more excited and chases one after another. At the same time, the 5-circle knight was not only keeping an eye on everyone, but he also gave warning to every adventurer who stumbles upon this place. Meanwhile, 4 people in black clothes are observing them from the top branches of the trees around. Looking at Song Yu and Lin Shui, that seemed they are taking pleasure in killing the poor goblins, one of them whispered, "I can't figure out who are the real monsters here." After hunting for an hour, Song Yu realized that she had used more than half of the bullets. She slowed her pace. 2 more hours later, the box almost became empty. She slapped her forehead in realization, "I have bought too few bullets. Should have bought more. After finishing the hunt, I should visit the store once again. Before the next hunt, I have to stock up to 1,000 bullets." Hearing her words, a frown appeared on Zhong Kong's face. It made him realize how many bullets she had used earlier. More than a week ago, he bought them. So, he remembered that each of them costs 20 silver coins. "I knew that man is a scammer, all right. He tricked my girl into getting addicting to this strange weapon. Now, she had to buy those worthless ungraded bullets for lifelong, paying thousands of gold coins. No, I won't let it happen." Taking a bullet from the box, he carefully observed it. Paying 20 silver coins per piece is too much. I wonder if one can just reverse engineer it and manufacture it in our allied smithies. I should talk to father. Chapter 18.1 Ambush in the Blood Hill Forest, Part 1. For the next hour, the couple just strolled around with a four-circle knight following them. Looking at the position of the sun, Captain Jiao then informed everyone that they should return now. As Song Yu and Zhong Kong also agreed with it, Lin Shui and Prince Xiong Wei stopped their hunting and started to return. By the time they reached Sector 9, it was already dark. They decided to rest there for the night. As the prince turned out to be too bad with planning for a trip, he forgot to bring the tents with him. So, all of them were left with no choice but to sleep in the open space. The two guards gathered the wood. Prince Xiong Wei lit the fire with a fire spell. On one side, the two males lie on the ground. Since they don't have much to talk about, they fell asleep quickly. On the other side of the fire, Song Yu and Lin Shui were busy in their girl talk. Captain Jiao and the other knight were guarding them. So, did you change your opinion of Prince Wei? Song Yu asked her for formality even though she knew what her friend was going to say. As she expected, Lin Shui just scoffed in response. What else can change? In the end, all he could do is to show off that he had a more powerful and richer background than me. That's all. Turning to the side, Song Yu give her the pistol. How about you come with to the store that sells this? The owner is 10 times more handsome than even Scholar Shu. Come on, you are kidding. Lin Shui clearly didn't believe her as Shu Fen was the most handsome guy she had ever seen in her life. This royal tutor used to be her childhood crush. Even if she no longer looks at him that way as he had kids her age, still, in her eyes, in terms of looks, no one could be compared with him. So, she was quite skeptical about Song Yu's statement. I was not exaggerating. Once you see owner Lu and his assistant Alan, you will even say that they were 10 times more handsome than Prince Wei. Song Yu told her while letting out another giggle. Alan? It appeared like a foreign name. Lin Shui commented. I guess. Song Yu shrugged her shoulders. Owner Lu said that he was from far away. Maybe, he's someone from the northern kingdoms. Who knows? I guess I must visit this store. Lin Shui mumbled, looking at the pistol. Oh, I didn't expect you will be this bold. Song Yu let out a playful smile, but, I should remind you. They were commoners. You should only enjoy inside yourself and not start something like a romance. Or else, who knows what your father will do. Hey! Lin Shui threw the pistol back to her friend. I'm going there to buy a pistol. And please, my standards aren't that low that I would fall for an owner of a small weapon store. Well, I hope you will stay confident like this. Song Yu giggled once again as she was sure that her friend will at least get a surprise of her life for once. After talking a few more things, both of them slowly drifted into sleep. A few hours passed. The forest was cold, silent, and any more darker. The only place that was a bit bright is the camp where the nobles slept because of the burning firewood. Both of the guards were almost in a half-sleep state. Song Yu forgot to keep her pistol in the storage ring. No one knows what kind of dream she's having. However, right now, she was playing with the pistol by rotating with her index finger at the trigger. Meanwhile, on top of the trees, the four assassins were patiently waiting for the perfect time. For several hours, they have been in such a state. Feeling numb on his bottom, the youngest of them lost his patience. Captain, how long do we have to wait? A short middle-aged man who was sitting on a higher branch than him lightly knocked his head with a bow staff. Keep your voice down and wait until the right time. Even though his whisper can be considered a bit loud in this silent environment, the drowsy bodyguards and sleepy nobles didn't discover it. Seeing the situation under control, the captain sighed in relief. He waited for another hour until the four-circle knight finally fell asleep and raised the staff. Suddenly, the tip of the staff was lit on small flames. The other two were hiding in different trees and were keeping an eye on Lin Shui's hidden guard got the signal and they jumped down while taking out their weapons. They landed nearby him and intended to take him by surprise. At the same time, the leader and the young adult also jumped from the branch to land on the ground silently. As they reached the ground, the leader pointed to the sleeping knight. The young assassin looked at him and gulped a bit as he glanced at the drowsy five-circle realm knight captain who was sitting nearby the fire. Despite being recruited by the Assassin's Guild at the age of 10 and reached the Five-Circle realm by the time he was only 18, this 19-year-old is almost a newbie with only a couple of human kills so far. So, he was a little bit nervous and excited at the same time. He was directly teleported right next to his target. He took out the dagger and was about to slice the knight's neck. Just then, by sheer luck, Song Yu was having a dream of killing an orc with a headshot. She was so excited that she shouted, "Die, you monster!" Bang! She accidentally clicked the trigger of the loaded pistol in her hand and suddenly, the sound of an explosion disturbed the silence surrounding. Zhong Kong sprung up on his feet letting out a huge scream while the rest of the others were also flinched in surprise due to the loud sound. "Xie Chen, down!" Captain Jiao alerted him as soon as he saw the figure of a stranger in black clothes who held a dagger. "Everyone, gather behind me, right now." "Captain Jiao, behind you." While this knight also alerted the nobles in hurry, Zhong Kong, who was up on his feet, saw a short guy with a bald head and long beard was only a few feet away from the captain. So, he too alerted him. "Another assassin?" Captain Jiao didn't waste any time jumping forward and turned around to find a person who was standing still. Meanwhile, the Four-Circle Realm knight jumped to the side to dodge, but he wasn't able to dodge completely as the young assassin thrust the dagger in panic. His upper arm started to bleed quickly. He stopped it with his other arm while gritting his teeth. The young assassin pushed his leg against the ground and returned to his captain. "What to do, now?" he asked the shorty. The leader shrugged his shoulders. "Little Feng, we have been discovered. There's no choice but to go all out." Glancing at the captain, he further said, "I'll take the big one. You handle the rest of them. There's only one Four-Circle in that group. It should be a piece of cake to you." Chapter 19.2, Ambush in the Bloodhill Forest, Part 2. A couple of 100 meters away from the campfire, a hooded man was resting his head against the tree. Due to the darkness in the surroundings, no one knows whether he was sleeping or continuing to guard. Just a few meters behind him, two assassins landed on the ground without making any noise and slowly walked towards him while taking out their daggers. It didn't take them long to reach the hooded man, who seemed like he doesn't notice their presence. Just when they were only 3 feet away from him, one of the assassins patted his partner's shoulder. Suddenly, both of them lunged towards the hooded man and slashed at his legs. They intend to cut down his legs to decrease his mobility. To their surprise, as soon as their daggers successfully managed to inflict enough damage on the legs, all of a sudden, the hooded man disappeared into a cloud of smoke. What? Both of them were taken aback to see their target turned out to be a clone. They realized it is a trap. However, it was too late. Before they move away from there, a glowing double-edged blade with its handle attached to a long chain cleanly sliced both of their necks in one move. Their heads rolled on the floor. Tap tap tap. A hooded figure reached the dead bodies and glanced at them, dead in one strike. "Who are these weaklings that are spying on me from a while ago?" He searched their bodies and take out their storage rings. He found gold coins, ether crystals, and a few other things, but he doesn't seem to be satisfied. Keeping their storage rings in his pocket, he mumbled, "I wonder who sent them." Bang! Right then, a loud sound was heard from his 6 o'clock. He was surprised and immediately turned around. It's where young Miss is sleeping, and this sound is oddly familiar. Isn't it the same sound of that weird-looking weapon of Lady Song? Pushing his leg against the ground, he immediately dashed towards the camp. As he reached there, the hooded figure saw Captain Jiao was in a battle against a short middleman who looked like a monk. The enemy seemed to have an upper hand. Meanwhile, a young adult just around 20 years old is attacking a knight and his young miss, Lin Shui. The third prince had a fireball in his hand but was hesitating to throw it at the enemy because of Lin Shui. He doesn't want to accidentally injure her. Song Yu was the same as the third prince, although for different reasons. While she aimed her pistol at the enemy, she was hesitating to shoot because of low ammunition. She only had 8 to spend now. So, she doesn't want to waste empty shots. As for Zhong Kong, he was just standing nearby his fiancée to protect her. The hooded figure swiftly moved towards the young adult. "Little Feng, get away from there." Suddenly the young assassin heard the warning from his leader. In the next second, Ji Yu Feng sensed the presence of an incoming enemy. He glanced to the right. From the corner of his eyes, he saw a blurry figure that almost reached him. His heart skipped for a moment and quickly used the short teleportation technique to disappear from there and reappear more than 50 meters away. Meanwhile, the former monk-turned-assassin kicked Captain Gao and then unleashed his skill. Dragon's Rage. His bow staff that was glowing red due to the ether particles through them now had flames dancing all over it. He swirls the staff and thrusts it into the empty air. Flames gathered around the edge of the staff and transformed into a dragon before it flew towards his target. Even though he had an opportunity to kill or inflict heavy injury on Gao, who was in midair, he attacked the third prince, who was like 15 meters away from him. The dragon-shaped flame targeted the third prince. However, the hooded figure who reached Lin Shui didn't make a move. Standing before her, he glanced at it in silence while the knight screamed and rushed towards him. "Your Highness, careful." Meanwhile, Zhong Kong grabbed Song Yu, moving away from the spot quickly. Looking at it, the third prince smirked, "What a desperate, foolish fellow." As the dragon almost reached him, Wei easily sidestepped and dodged the attack. Just when he thought he escaped the attack with ease, the dragon gets collided with the tree, causing a heavy explosion, and blasted away the nearby prince along with the knight who was about to rescue him. Zhong Kong and Song Yu managed to get out of the explosion radius while the hooded figure covered Lin Shui. Little bruises appeared on his skin here and there. "Your Highness." Not caring about his injuries, Captain Gao, who crashed onto the ground, quickly stood up and rushed towards the prince. "Are you all right?" Captain Gao slowly helped the third prince. Cough, cough. The third prince slowly stood up on his feet, coughing out a mouthful of blood with his heavily injured back. "I'm all right. I underestimated the attack." He glanced at the fallen knight who was nearby him and asked the captain to check his status. While Captain Zhou left him and walked towards the knight, the third prince looked at others. He sighed in relief after watching Lin Shui is fine. Then, his eyes wandered elsewhere. His facial expression changed all of a sudden. "Where are those Feng bastes?" Meanwhile, at Sector 6, Blood Hill Forest. Woof. Leading a pack of black wolves, a large grey wolf is chasing after a buffed male who had gold-graded equipment from top to bottom and was covered in ether energy. It was none other than Five-Circle Realm adventurer Mo Jiang, whose luck was stolen by Mark. He was running for his life. With the grey wolf being the realm of Six Circle, there's only one thing in his mind. That is to get out of the sector and go into outer sectors where a barrier is placed at the border between Sector 6 and Sector 7, separating higher realm beasts from lower realm ones. Mo Jiang doesn't care about the direction he was running towards. He was just heading south to look for a barrier. Chapter 20.1 Unlucky Mo Jiang, Part 1. Finally, after desperately running for his life during the past 3 hours, Mo Jiang finally saw a blue barrier that was glowing in the darkness. He was elated and increased his speed to the maximum, not hesitating to burn his life force. The grey wolf also caught its sight and increased its speed. The distance between them decreased rapidly. Just as it almost caught up to its target, the grey wolf saw the barrier was just 10 meters away. It hastily opened its mouth and gathered the natural energy that transformed into a lightning ball. It was shot towards Mo Jiang's back. At the same time, Mo Jiang, who almost reached the barrier, leaped towards it. He flew through the barrier and fell on the ground while the lightning ball hit the barrier and disappeared. Woof! It let out a powerful bark and growled at Mo Jiang before turning around to leave. Meanwhile, Mo Jiang started laughing in excitement as he walked down the path. "Finally, I'm alive. Ha ha ha. Eh?" He stumbled on a place where there are a series of caves side by side. Several orcs could be seen staring at him with their clubs. Not again, Mo Jiang's scream was echoed in the surroundings. 12 hours ago, Imperial City. After purchasing pieces of equipment from the Everlasting Store, Mo Jiang and his 2 teammates left for the guild district that houses many guilds, from big ones like Swordmasters to even a 10-member guild like Castle Rover. Mo Jiang's 2 teammates were all smiles as they were wearing newly purchased gold-graded armor and weapon until they realized they entered a different street. Soon, they stopped before a 2-story building. Hell Sky? As soon as they read the name, a figure appeared in both of their heads. They shivered for a second. "Captain, we aren't going for another joint mission with Hell Sky, are we?" one of them asked the buffed adventurer. There's nothing to be worried about, Mo Jiang told them before stepping inside the guild. They too followed him inside only to see a cheerful busty lady who was looking at the quest board spotted them and waved her hands with a smile. Mo Jiang, here. Two of the subordinates halted their footsteps right away with a frightened look on their faces. Sister Qian? Just a few days ago, they had done a mission with her and almost died in facing the six-realm beast. Of course, their captain was happier with their performance and gifted them gold-graded equipment, but still, they intended to avoid this devil at all costs. Both of them looked at each other and nodded together. One of them then spoke, Captain, I just remembered that I need to take my grandfather to Helasi. Captain, I think my stomach is upset. I'm sorry that I can't. Before his words ended, Mo Jiang put his hands over the two of their shoulders and caught them. Don't you dare. You are coming with me. The lady who was in the realm of Six Circle picked up a paper and rushed towards them. It's good that you came here at the perfect time. She raised her hand and showed the paper to Mo Jiang. Just now, I thought you weren't going to arrive and about to take another mission. Now that you are here, you can join us. Damn, we should have come late. Both of the subordinates thought the same thing, as they knew the mission is going to be troublesome and often filled with risk. Freeing his subordinates, Mo Jiang took it and read it. Mission: bring the dead body of a six-circle grey werewolf. The heart should not receive irreversible damage. Rank: AA. Requirements: at least 10 spirit warriors of the 5-circle realm. 1 spirit warrior of the 6-circle realm can replace 3 spirit warriors of the 5-circle realm. Reward: 80,000 gold coins, 8 high-grade ether crystals. AA. As soon as the subordinates read the difficulty of the mission, imaginary tears started to flow down their cheek. The last time it was only A, and now, it was A. We are so dead. Starting with Sector 9 and Sector 8, the mission in them are usually either E or D rank. For Sector 7, the missions will be either D or C rank. For Sector 6, the missions will be C, B, or BB rank. For Sector 5, the missions will be B, BB, or A rank. For Sector 4, the missions will be A, AA, or AAA rank. And for the deepest 3 sectors, they will range from S to SSS. Of course, those missions will not be available for any specific guild. Each mission has certain requirements and the adventurers could only accept them and get the reward if they met them. All of the guilds follow the same system that was created by the Adventurers Association. The top 5 guilds, namely, the Swordmasters Guild, the Magician Guild, the Rangers Guild, the Summoner Guild, and the Assassin Guild, have thousands of members. So, they don't need to worry about these rules. However, the rest of the guilds would have less manpower and even more so a very few experts of advanced realms, 5-circle and above. So, they would often join with other guild experts or hire mercenaries. It is now exactly the same situation where Mo Jiang, a guild member of Swordmasters, is helping out Chen Die, who is a member of Hell Sky. Even Mo Jiang hesitated for a bit, mainly due to their target. Werewolves aren't like other beasts. They are intelligent, a bit stronger, and faster than fellow 6-circle realm beasts. The only thing that's a relief is that they are very low in numbers. So, it is almost impossible to meet with multiple werewolves at the same time. Thinking of the rewards, especially the high-grade ones, Mo Jiang said okay to her. Handing him a pouch full of gold coins, here, 1,000 gold coins as your advance payment. Upon successful completion, you will get 1/4 of the rewards as we promised. 10 minutes later, Chen Die gathered the remaining 8 members, where 3 of them are in the same realm as Mo Jiang's teammates. Their state of mind seemed to be similar too. But none of these 4-circle realms could defy their captains, who had a certain influence in the city. The 5 4-circle realm adventurers then collectively took an advancement pill and raised their realm to a level higher for the next hour. It was a trick that small guilds used to accept the missions. The receptionist who was employed by the Adventurer Association scanned their realm with the help of a gold-graded mirror and gave the approval. The team of 12 set for the Bloodhill Forest just like other teams.